All right, guys, there were a few problems that we didn't have time to get to in class, so we're going to have to do it over the video. I would like you to take notes over these, so please make sure they're in your notes under 2.2. Okay, so our first step, remember, we're going to distribute all of our weapons using the distributive property. So we're going to take -3 to 5 and -3 to -x. Remember to keep this sign with the number you're distributing. Okay, staying with the distributive property, we're going to distribute 5 to both parts. So on this side we have 7 minus 15 plus 3x equals 5x minus 20. Remember to distribute to both parts and to keep the sign with it. And then once you're done with that, remove the parentheses. Okay? Now we're going to combine like terms. Remember, I told you did not have to turn everything into plus and negative any longer. You understand the commutative property. So this is going to be 7 plus a -15, or 7 minus 15, which is -8, plus 3x equals 5x minus 20. Now, we're never going to leave a man behind. The only way to cross our equal sign is to add or subtract an entire term. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. You could have chosen to do something else first and it would still work out okay. -8 equals 2x minus 20. Add 20 to both sides using our SADMAG. You get that 2x equals 12. Divide by 2, divided by 2, x equals 6. Then I'm going to put that in my calculator and check it. In order to put this in your calculator and check it, remember you need to store x as your variable, and then you'll have to do two separate equations because your calculator will store it both times. So you're going to put in -7 minus 3 times 5 minus x, and you want whatever that equals here to be the same as when you put in your calculator and get 5 times the quantity of x minus 4. Okay, let's see how this applies to some word problems. So once again, remember, define your variable, write an equation, solve your equation, check, and label your solution. So Miss Miley charges $20 for her labor, plus $8 per dozen for her world-famous cupcakes. How many dozen cupcakes were made if she bills Miss Vogenthaler $116 for her daughter's birthday cupcakes? Okay, so what are we looking for? Well, there it is right there. How many dozen cupcakes? So let's let x equal number of dozen. And we need to come up with a variable equation. You can solve this a lot of different ways, but without a variable, you're not doing algebra. Okay, so let's look to see what's changing. $8 per dozen. So that's my key word there, per. So I know that that's going to mean multiplication. So I have $8 per dozen. Ooh, but she's also throwing in some labor. That's not going to change. No matter what, she's only charging me $20. That equals 20, and she billed me for 116. I prefer not to use all these decimals, but you're welcome to do so if you need it. Now I'm going to follow my opposite of order of operations, subtract 20 from each side. I get that 8x equals 96. Divide by 8, divide by 8. I get that x equals 12. 12 what? 12 turkeys, 12 walruses. Let's go back. Our x is the number of dozen, so 12 dozen cupcakes. Make sure you check your answer. Last one. The conversion formula for turning degrees Celsius into degrees Fahrenheit is that Celsius equals 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32. If Alana's friend in Canada is complaining that is 60 degrees Celsius, how hot or cold would it be here if we measure in Fahrenheit? So our unknown is going to be our Fahrenheit. Let x equal Fahrenheit, or you can just say F equal Fahrenheit. That would probably be a logical one in this case. And I always misspell Fahrenheit, but it's actually spelled correctly here. Okay, so we're going to plug that into the formula. We have the Celsius is 60 degrees, so we get 60 equals 5/9 times F minus 32. Distribute to both parts. 60 equals 5/9 F. I'm going to have to come over here to do 5/9 minus 32, or times 32, excuse me, over 1. And that doesn't divide out nicely, so I'm going to have 32 times 5 equals 160 over 9. So now I'm subtracting 160 over 9. I'm going to add 160 over 9 here. Now I need a common denominator with that 60, so I'm going to have a big number here. I'm going to have to multiply this by 9 and 9. So I get 160 over 9 plus 540 over 9 equals 5/9 F. I get 700 over 9 equals 5/9 F. Now here is where I need to multiply by the reciprocal. 9/5. 9/5. Ooh, that one's fancy. Look at that. My 9s are just going to divide to equal 1, and my 700 is going to divide by 5 to give me 140. A blistering 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and make sure you have this in your notes.